There's been a growing scandal over reports that Erika Kirk went shopping at Aloe for a yoga outfit the day after Charlie Kirk's murder. Candace Owens said she does not think the Aloe purchase is important.
And so let's jump back into the substance. Forget the crop top, okay? I didn't cover the crop top. Aaron didn't cover the crop top.
I disagree with Candace. I think this is extremely important because it establishes a timeline for what happened in the 24 hours after Charlie Kirk was murdered. A user on TikTok named Marcos Bits leaked receipts he had received of purchases under Erika Kirk's name at a clothing store called Aloe. In case you do not know who Marcos Bits is, he's not some random person on TikTok. I'm thinking Candace Owens does not know his background. Marcos Bits has actually broken several major news stories, including allegations of inappropriate behavior by James Charles.
So I also just want to draw attention to a snap that you took a photo of in which Evan messaged several people, including you, alleging that Kayla was lying, that he's actually the victim, and bragged that James Charles was on his side, giving him guidance on how to navigate the situation. And what prompted that entire conversation was Kayla going live and alluding to the abuse. Is that correct?
That is very correct.
I just want to include that as just further evidence.
Yes.
This was very fair and thoroughly documented reporting at a time when everyone was scared to say anything bad against James Charles. Then in the following news story, Marcos Bits talked about the Kamala Harris campaign and said she was making mistakes in her social media strategy.
So on August 27th, I posted a video critiquing the marketing strategy of the Harris campaign. I highlighted reasons why I thought their current strategy would ultimately not be successful, as well as ways they could have adjusted it to prevent an outcome that was statistically likely, but not being accurately represented or taken seriously on TikTok.
Marcos Bits was majorly canceled on TikTok for being critical of the Democrats. And he was not even against Kamala. He's Canadian. He was just trying to help, and he was right. Kamala Harris was screwing up, and she lost the election. He was right. Why did no one listen to Marcos Bits? These types of stories take courage, and we should recognize that. Now Marcos Bits has uncovered information about Turning Point, and he is being canceled again. Fox News published an article on the Aloe scandal where they were incredibly critical of Marcos Bits, describing him as the influencer who posted the receipt has been extremely critical of Kirk and previously called her a crazy blank on TikTok. Fox News should be ashamed of themselves. This extremely misrepresents his video, which contains some very valid criticism. I have never seen a major news corporation try to cancel a TikToker. This is crazy. This poor guy has now been canceled by the Democrats and the Republicans. This tells me this is someone we can trust. I think we should listen to what he has to say.
So I got an email today from someone that works at Aloe. I'm going to, of course, keep their identity anonymous. This person emailed me, and I'll put it on the screen, that they work at Aloe, and they looked up Erika's account. And it appeared that she had spent over $1,000 buying Aloe clothing the day after Charlie was... I can't remember everything she bought, but it was all black clothing. Obviously, it's not that important, but I personally found it super sketchy. I also don't know. And then she says something about where Erika lives. I'm not going to include that. You can see it clear as day on the receipt, which I will show you guys for transparency, that Erika Francevey, her maiden name, purchased $1,043.30 worth of clothing on September 11th, 2025 at 11:10 a.m.
I, like many people, found this to be very suspicious behavior. If you've ever lost someone close to you, you know that you do not wake up the next morning and go buy yoga pants. This is extremely strange behavior from a grieving widow. Now I know that Candace Owens does not think this is important, but I would like to ask Candace Owens a direct question. When you found out about Charlie Kirk's death, What did you do in the first 24 hours? And be honest, Candace. Did you go buy yourself some yoga pants? I didn't even know Charlie Kirk, and I was devastated. I didn't go on a shopping spree. Elizabeth McCoy, the wife of Mikey McCoy, released a statement claiming that the leaked documents were misleading. She said Erika did not buy the clothes. She said, "Hey, the Aloe purchaser here. Yes, I went with my mom and bought clothes for Erika and many others because not one of us had anything on us besides the clothes we had been in the whole day at the hospital and slept in. Aloe was right down the street. Stacy generously paid for everything. Think twice and consider evaluating things through a little grace perhaps when you guys go down your next rabbit hole. I also went to Target and bought underwear, socks, and toiletries for everyone and passed them out to everybody in the hotel lobby. Shocked face emoji." We are going to go through Elizabeth McCoy's tweet line by line, and I'm going to show you why I believe almost everything in this post is a lie. Turning Point has continued to support Elizabeth's explanation when Frank Turk talked about it in a speech.
When Erika shows up, all she has is the clothes on her back. And now there are conspiracy theorists putting out nonsense like Erika went on a shopping spree. Nobody had clothes. I didn't have clothes. I had to put scrubs on. We threw our clothes away. Now you know we had to go to the store and buy clothes, yeah. But that doesn't stop the conspiracy theorists, huh? They say they know what happened.
So Frank Turek, who was riding in the car with Charlie Kirk's body, had his clothes covered in blood. Now, I would have thought those clothes would have been evidence, but apparently those clothes were all destroyed. Isn't that convenient? But that was not Erika. Erika's clothes were not covered in blood. If Frank Turek destroyed his clothes, why would that make Erika need to go shopping? Something is not right about this story, and it seems like they're trying to emotionally manipulate us while trying to hide what actually happened. If we look at the receipts, they reveal some pretty interesting things. To start with, the purchase was made in person at the Aloe store in Salt Lake City, Utah. If you do not know, Aloe is a high-end yoga clothing company. They sell overpriced yoga clothes that are considered trendy. The purchases were made under the loyalty account in Erika Kirk's maiden name, Erika Francfe. There has been a rumor going around for a while that Erika Kirk was using her maiden name in private. When I first heard that rumor, I dismissed it. I thought it was crazy. There's no way that is happening. It's too bizarre. But this is the first time we have actual confirmation that rumor is correct. The loyalty account is listed as having been created over 3 years ago under the name Erika Francfe. That would mean the account was created sometime in 2022. Erika Kirk married Charlie Kirk on May 8, 2021. That means that a year after she is married, she's setting up online profiles using her maiden name. That is very strange. What is going on in this marriage? Now, I realize that not all women take their husband's last name. That is fine. I have no problem with that. But Erika Kirk very publicly took her husband's last name, and then apparently, in private, continued to use her maiden name. That is very bizarre to me. Women out there, please confirm to me in the comments. Is it weird that a woman would do this? Let's go back to Elizabeth McCoy's statement. Hey, the Aloe purchaser here. The word purchaser is a very specific legal term. A purchaser is a person or entity that acquires property, goods, or services in exchange for valuable consideration. Now think about this carefully. How is Elizabeth McCoy the purchaser? The purchase was made under Erika's loyalty account. It was paid for with Stacy's credit card. I'm assuming that is Stacy Sheridan, who always seems to be hovering around Erika Kirk. In no way does Elizabeth McCoy qualify as the legal purchaser. At most, she's a receiver of a gift of one of these articles of clothing. Just because she is present does not make her the purchaser. In my opinion, The very first statement of her post is an absolute lie. Why is she telling a lie during a murder investigation? And this is a very common problem that keeps happening. Why do all these Turning Point people keep lying over and over again? The one thing Elizabeth McCoy does not do in this post is explain if Erika Kirk was there in the store. You will notice that she does not deny that Erika was there. I think we need more explanation from Elizabeth McCoy. 1, why did she lie in her very first sentence? And 2, was Erika Kirk present? I believe she was there because the purchase was made under her loyalty account. If she was not there, we would have to believe that Elizabeth McCoy went to the store and typed in Erika Kirk's secret loyalty number that she would not have known. Nobody believes that is what happened. So it seems like Erika Kirk was there, and Elizabeth McCoy is trying to cover it up. Let us go to her explanation that these purchases were gifts for Turning Point employees. According to her, this was a selfless act. It was about generosity. I think that is also a lie. Let us look at the purchases. Here is the full list, which totals over $1,000. We know from Elizabeth's statement that at least some of these clothes were purchased for Erika. So we can make an educated guess on who these items were purchased for. We know that Elizabeth was there, Stacey Sheridan paid for it, and we think Erika was there. Between those three, Erika is more on the chunky side. I'm not making fun of her weight. We just have to figure out the truth here, and we have the sizes of these clothes. Purchases were made for someone who was medium, small, and extra small. With yoga clothes, there's not a lot of variation in size, so I think this was for 3 separate people, which makes sense because we're talking about Elizabeth, Stacey, and Erika. Just seeing photos of these people, I believe that Erika is a size medium, Stacey Sheridan is a size small, and Elizabeth McCoy is a size extra small. Well, that matches exactly with what was purchased. Erika would have received 3 items, Stacey Sheridan would have received 3 items, and Elizabeth McCoy would have received 1 measly long-sleeve shirt. If that is what happened, and I believe that is what happened, how misleading is it for Elizabeth McCoy to say, "I am the purchaser"? We are talking about Erika, Stacey, and Elizabeth going on a shopping spree for themselves. And when they get caught, they're trying to claim that this was an act of generosity for the Turning Point employees. What a massive lie. If I have this wrong, please correct me, Turning Point. Please tell me the exact names of the Turning Point employees that received these items from Aloe. Because I am betting that it is Erika, Stacey, and Elizabeth, not an act of generosity. If you do not believe me, we have the photos from that day when the Vice President, J.D. Vance, showed up and met with Erika Kirk. It looks like Erika is wearing the same pants that were purchased that day at Aloe. Those look to me like size medium, high-waist pursuit trousers. Try to prove me wrong. She is wearing the yoga pants. I think these yoga pants should be entered as evidence in the court case against Tyler Robinson. If the yoga pants fit, you must acquit. She is also wearing what looks like an Aloe jacket. We know this because you can see the logo on the sleeve. She would not likely wear the jacket by itself, so I am betting that she is wearing the other purchased item under the jacket, the medium Aloe soft sculpt precision short sleeve top. That way, she could have a complete set. So when you start to realize all the details here, it looks to me what happened was they found out the Vice President was going to show up. And these 3 girls decided to go on a shopping spree so that they would look good for this photo op. And that is exactly what people are criticizing. This does not appear to be the act of generosity that Elizabeth McCoy is claiming. It seems like it is exactly what people think. It seems like selfish, psychopath behavior from a grieving widow. What bothers people is not the fact that Erika Kirk bought the clothes. I can use myself as an example. I don't own many black clothes. So if I was in a period of mourning, I would want to go buy some black clothes. That's something I can understand. But I am pretty sure I would not even think about my clothes for the first 24 hours. That is something I would do days later. But even if it was something that was an immediate need, when you lose a family member, especially 24 hours after, you're usually surrounded by friends and family who would offer to do things for you. So I would probably ask my friend, can you go to the store for me and buy a couple black shirts? You would not go to the store yourself and put in your loyalty number. That is what is strange. If your husband was just assassinated, you would not care how you look. You would not care about what clothes you're wearing. You would not care about the vice president, and you would not care about the photo op.
Guys, literally, think about it. Before the body was even cold, she woke up in the morning, went online, and bought this cheap clothing and got it shipped to her house. And I'm really not trying to be overdramatic here, but I think this is one of the most significant pieces of information we have uncovered so far because it's so telling of who she is. For those of you that have suffered a loss, for example, even if you suffer the loss of somebody who is maybe a grandparent, someone that's older, who you knew was getting sick, when you find out that they're gone forever, you are catatonically depressed. You cannot get out of bed for days. You're in a state of shock, even when it's not shocking, even if you knew the person was sick for years. And then for those of you listening to this who maybe have experienced a very sudden loss, maybe someone wasn't assassinated, but maybe it was a car accident, maybe it was something of that nature where you had absolutely no idea something like this would happen. You're shocked. You're shocked. You won't be able to go to bed. You think you're in a nightmare. The husband was publicly assassinated, and you went on a shopping spree to Aloe, of all places. But to anywhere, but to Aloe? To buy gym clothes? To buy like a yoga mom outfit? Please tell me I'm not crazy. Please. Somebody please tell me I'm not crazy, because this is actually so f***ing insane and I won't be able to sleep tonight.
The timeline of all of this makes it even worse. It is still unconfirmed what planes everyone was flying on, but in general, we know that Erika Kirk arrived by private jet into Provo Airport around 3 p.m., got to the Timpanogos Hospital around 4 p.m., then went to Salt Lake City where she spent the night. Then the next day, she purchased the clothing at Aloe at 11:10 a.m. She then met with Vice President J.D. Vance, and Air Force Two departed from Salt Lake City with Charlie Kirk's body around 3:30 p.m. The flight to Phoenix is about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So Erika is going to be back home by 5 p.m. She is purchasing the clothes at Aloe when she is going to be home in 6 hours. The point is, they did not need new clothes. They were going back home. Elizabeth McCoy's post said, "Not one of us had anything on us besides the clothes we had been in the whole day at the hospital and slept in." This is so misleading. They were maybe at the hospital for 1 hour. They were only in Utah for 24 hours. How many costume changes did they need? One set of clothes is normal for traveling. The story that nobody had any clothes is ridiculous. And this brings us to her Target comment. Everyone realizes that when you travel, it's not unusual to stop off at a store and pick up items that you need. But the Target trip the night before has nothing to do with the Aloe trip the following day. Here is Target, here is Aloe. They are all the way across town from each other. They have nothing to do with each other. To use Target as an excuse is again completely misleading. If the Aloe trip was because of a desperate need for clothes like they claim, why didn't they buy them the night before at Target? I will tell you why, because they probably did not need the clothes. The fact that they did not buy them the night before when Elizabeth was already at Target shows that they did not need them. This is gaslighting. It is emotionally manipulative, and it is a lie. It would be so much better if they just told the truth. Just tell the truth. What I believe happened is that Erika Kirk wanted to look good when she found out that she was going to have a photo op with the vice president. Just say that. It would be so much better than Turning Point making up all these lies. But for some reason, Turning Point is trying to desperately cover up this story. I think it's hitting a nerve because it is revealing some truth. Erika Kirk was acting suspicious in the 24 hours following Charlie Kirk's murder, and everyone is starting to notice. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think the Aloe shopping spree is suspicious? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. If you want to support independent journalism like this channel, consider signing up for a membership on my website, wolvesandfinance.com. For $6 a month, your support helps me to keep making these videos. Thank you to everyone who has signed up. I'm Zach from Wolves and Finance. Thank you for watching.